Hey John, it's Edmund here again from Race Mode. I'm so glad that I caught your Instagram live this afternoon when you were talking about brands that were successful but died in the last decade or so. Which brings me to this question. Are there any brands that died and came back to life? What did they do to come back to life? And also, what did they do to die? Anyway, man, I appreciate your content. Thanks so much for answering this question and have a good day.
Edmund from Race Mode, links will be below. Thank you for the question. He caught me on my IG live. You guys should catch me on my IG live at John Phenom. Let me do the intro or else someone is gonna be in the comments. Boom, hey internets. John Phenom, clothing brand mentor, over 21 years apparel industry experience at the time that I'm shooting this. And at the time my man Edmund gave us a really good question. So I've definitely detailed this, but love to get into it as I get new case studies. Indeed, I've seen many companies in what I call the graveyard. I've seen many tombstones in the graveyard of brands, and there's been so many great brands. So if you look back on my IGTV to the live I did, it was like 40 minutes. I was talking about a couple different topics. I started talking about fashion students choosing a major, and then I talked about internship. But if you find the whole thing, it's pretty good if I could say so myself. But I'm bringing it up to say I'm wearing the same thing because I literally shot that maybe a couple hours ago. So he took me up on the Q&A. If you guys have questions and want to be on a video, just shoot me a selfie and let me know what your company that you're affiliated with, and I'll do that too. So to your answer, what kills a company or a successful company? And a simple answer is if I reverse my fundamentals answer. So in my free course that you guys should know about by now, Anatomy of a Clothing Brand, I talk about 4 things, right? Design, production, which is product, and then sales and marketing, which is sales, right? Marketing is trying to raise awareness. Why? So that you can have better sales of your product. So good product and good sales is what we're talking about. But within those 4 things, all the companies that I work with have one person that's manning every one of those 4 huge things. That's definitely more than a full-time job, depending on the size of your company and how it's structured. So within that, you better believe there's a lot of mistakes that can be made. I can tell you the first place I worked at was a skate company in San Diego. I made a huge mistake in production. For some reason, an extra pair of, they were like jumpsuit bottoms. It was nylon pants with zippered up. I mean, like your classic varsity setup gear, right? For like any kind of like track wrestling, whatever. It was like a jumpsuit, right? But we did it for the skate company. There was some crazy colorway that got made, and I honestly don't even remember creating the color blocks, the color blocking panels for the item that got made. But anyways, lots of detail to tell you that it got communicated that we wanted that product made, so it was unsellable. It was really bad. Actually, to be honest, nowadays it might have been a hot colorway now, but back then we're talking about 2000, not a hot colorway to sell for skate and surf industry at all. So it was a huge fumble. I'm lucky they didn't fire me, but my saving grace was the top part of that jacket was a winner, and that we ended up selling that for many seasons. You just change the colorways to good colorways, of course. So that's a design / production issue, but that can tank a company. For sure that can tank a company. When I owned my high volume screen printing shop, we had a company that ordered product and pulled out. And so while you guys don't own a screen printing shop, the metaphor here for you guys is maybe a company that you feel is reputable makes a big order, but this time they don't pay up front, right? So the order that a company made with us was in and around 27K. It was a massive order. Now they've ordered way more than that in the past and they fully paid, but we did a rush job on this. We broke our backs, and one of the terms is that we need to get paid all in one lump sum before you get any other product. We were flexible with that point because we had a track record of working with them. Otherwise, if you're a new client, we need it all up front, or at least let's say 70% of it. Depends on how you do your terms, right? But let's say a shop tells you, yeah, we want to order, 10,000 pieces of something. You're gonna go in this scenario. If you went to the production and made it and they left you, right? Let's say you found out the week it got made that their company, let's say you found out on Instagram that they went bankrupt, which has totally happened. That's retailers have done that definitely in the past. That is a way that your company can, you just need 1 or 2 of those. One more example, our third example on the production side. When I was at Arisu, just getting in there and transitioning in to be the creative director, our denim producer that we left a denim manufacturer who's doing fine, and a new denim manufacturer also in China promised us ridiculous prices and the moon. They even did initial samples for us, so we gave them a large portion of our denim and they literally showed up, I would say maybe 2 months before the trade show, and said, we haven't made anything. It was crazy. It was crazy. And that, I couldn't tell you how much that was, but it's a big chunk of the money we made. And like I said, Arisu was doing probably like 5 million at the time. So it was a portion, it was a big category that we had no product to show for, where people are used to ordering denim from us, and that whole category was just botched. So we made a couple quick moves and a couple quick decisions to put together a quick collection that saved some of it, but huge letdown. So in any case, those are 3 examples of how a company can die. But anyone in marketing, sales, and design that is making avant-garde decisions, they can be genius and they can be brilliant, but it can also be very risky. So within, again, design, production, sales, and marketing, all of those are different ways that a company can just get tanked. And so the case studies that I gave you, like the 3 examples that I gave you, all of those relate in maybe overspending in marketing, over leveraging, moving away from your core, right? Another thing that I like to do is spread out my really edgy looks to maybe like 20%. That's conservative for being a designer, but that means 80% is sort of tried and true. And I like to spread those looks to things that I know are gonna move with the current retail base that the company has. We give something new within the context of what they have expected, and we try to touch the edge in those confines. Does that make sense? But another person who might do all new looks, that also could be very risky. So all of that with new competition are all different ways that a company can become a tombstone in the graveyard of many brands that have fallen. And the average company, and you've heard me say this before, the heyday of a company typically is in and around 5 years of doing millions of dollars. There's a lot of companies that are the contrary to that. Stussy always comes to mind very quickly. I think your skate and surf tried and true brands, Ruka, although a lot of people think Ruka is an MMA brand because of its popularity with UFC, but that's an example of them changing with the times and finding new customer base. So there's a lot of companies that you can reference, but there's way more companies that have fallen and died because of any one of those 1,000 cuts. Hope that helps. Any questions that you guys might have on this or more, drop it below, or you could text me or do what Edmund at Race Mode did and make a selfie video, send it to me. You'll be in a video just like this. Links all down below. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.